All right, it's Saturday. Had a good weigh-in, so it is time to get creative with the diet. My third try of making pizza. The last couple videos have been cut off or just weren't very good, so we're trying it again. So this is a macro-friendly pizza, high protein and good carbs, and only 2 grams of fat for the whole pizza. So it's a Greek yogurt type of crust that you need to pre-cook a little, and then we'll add our stuff on top of that. So for this, we need 70 grams of self-rising flour, 12 grams of coconut flour, 5 grams of nutritional yeast, 150 grams of Greek yogurt, 75 grams of egg whites, a little bit of canned tomato sauce, and fat-free mozzarella. It's a plain pizza, but you can add stuff on top. We'll go over that later. So first, I need to mix the dry ingredients. So we start with 70 grams of self-rising flour. And I do grams just because it's more consistent. I don't know what it would be with a dry measuring cup or whatever. So there's 59. 70. Now 12 grams of coconut flour. Yeah. 12 grams coconut flour. And 5 grams nutritional yeast. Five grams nutritional yeast. That's my dry ingredients. I'm going to mix that. Now this doesn't come out like a traditional crust. It comes out a little on the watery side, the liquid side. But again, we'll bake it a little, and then then it's kind of more like a flatbread type of crust. We go from there. So I mix that until it's well mixed, one consistent color and look. And I used to have this really awesome Italian pizza seasoning that I had, but I ran out, so I'm going to make do with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There's that. A little bit of oregano. Garlic and onion powder. And now it should be seasoned up a little better. Once I get that mixed evenly, then I add my wet ingredients. All right, so now we add our egg whites, 75 grams. And I just kind of have been toying with this recipe for a long time. I've made it a bunch of different times. So I've really played with the proportions a little bit. That's too much. Try and get them close to the macros that I desire. 75 on the dot. Boom. There's my egg whites. I have taken this up a little bit, so it's a bigger pizza. I have put things on top of it, but again, for my macros and kind of the way things settle in right now, it's a plain pizza and it's this size. No, it's 150 grams of non-fat Greek yogurt. Hope I have enough in here. There's 80. That's dead. I'm gonna grab a new spoon so I can get it all. Afraid if I grab that spoon, there's a lot stuck to it that I didn't measure. All right, so that's all in there. Now I got to mix that up. Mix it till it's one consistency. And then you spread it out to like a pizza shape on your parchment paper. Again, I made this one like meat lovers that had turkey pepperoni on it and really lean ground beef and some like chicken or turkey sausage, and that came out really good. Ate the whole thing by myself back when I was bulking. I mean, it's not your traditional pizza shop pizza, but it's very good. It's a great change of pace when you're on a really tight diet and looking for something really low fat. Something to help with that diet craze when your oven's preheated. When you're in the heat of trying to keep things as clean as possible. I haven't had a real pizza since like last Christmas or even before. So this is something to keep me sane. The wife's had it. She likes it. I tried to get the boys to try it, but if it's not fruit snacks or peanut butter and jelly, they probably won't try it. So now I'm just going to pour it on my parchment paper and spread it out so it's crust-like. And I'll bake it for a little while. So I'm pouring it on there now. Saturday cartoons aren't making him happy. So you plop it all on there, and then you spread it out. Usually I just put it right on the parchment paper, and then I put it in the oven on top of the rack, but it kind of gives that, since it's such like a kind of a liquid, it really spreads across the grill and leaves those marks in there and those depressions, which is fine, but I'm just trying to go for a flatter pizza crust this time. So you spread it out. You don't want to spread it too thin. Mine's going to be more oval shaped since I put it in a baking sheet. I tried to do it on like in the cake pan to get more of like a deep dish or pizza crust look. That did not come out great, so I'm sticking with this. So I'm going to spread it out so it's not super thick. In the other videos and other people that make this, they claim that they can make this much 10 inches of crust. I have yet to make that happen, but it's definitely a good personal size pizza that I'm very happy with. Try and leave just a little bit of a ridge on the edge to give you a little bit of a crust. But it's kind of hard to do, so do your best. So we're spread out now. There's my pizza crust. Now I'm going to put it in the oven. 400 degrees, I believe, is where we're at. 450. Ooh. So 450, you put in there for about 7 minutes. And then we'll take it out, flip it, and put our pizza sauce and our cheese on top. And then we bake it some more. So I'm going to wait for this to preheat a little bit more. Then I'm going to throw this in. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up a little bit and get the next ingredients ready. See you in a minute. All right, here my audio cut out, so I needed to add this in. So here I am taking it out of the oven. After about 7-8 minutes, it comes out. It's looking pretty good. The top normally doesn't get a nice char to it yet, but if you take it and flip it over, like I'm doing in this video, you transfer it to a new parchment paper, and then you can put your other ingredients on top. So we take it, we flip it. Yeah, just move on. So there it is. It comes out kind of like that flatbread type of stuff. If you ever made the cottage cheese flatbread, it kind of comes out that consistency. We want it to cook a little bit more, but first we're going to add our ingredients. So we have a half of a cup of tomato sauce. I use the canned tomato sauce. That is very low in sugar, a little bit of carbs, but it still tastes good. It still gives you that pizza taste. So we pour it on here. We drop the bowl, apparently. We pour it on, then we spread it out with a spoon a little bit. You want to make sure not to leave any dry spots. It will dry out, obviously, as it cooks a little bit. But we're going to spread it out, try and fill in some of the creases that are naturally made, give you some of that flavor in there. So that is a half a cup of canned tomato sauce, just generic 79-cent tomato sauce, very low in sugar. And then we move on to our cheese. Our cheese is a 3 ounces of fat-free mozzarella cheese. There's all kinds of things you can do to wash your mozzarella cheese and make it more meltable or make it into like a cheese sauce, but I've always found that it kind of works out pretty good. So we put our 3 ounces of cheese on there, spread it out. We'll throw it back in the oven for in this video I put it in for 3 minutes, and I probably would have left it in for closer to 5 minutes just to get it to cook up a little bit more on the bottom. But we'll put on that 3 ounces of cheese, spread it out, and then we are going to put it directly on the rack so that it can cook a little bit more and we don't get all the creases. And again, in this video, I throw it in for 3 minutes, and you'll see the result here in a few that it should have went in for 5, but it still came out very good. So here we are, throwing it in. So it's out now. I probably would have left it in for 5 minutes when I put the cheese on instead of 3. The bottom of it's a little raw, but very good still. So the macros for a whole pizza comes out to about 515 calories, 74 carbs, 50 grams of protein, and 2 grams of fat. You can cut that half, make that 2 servings, about 260 calories each. I'm going to eat the whole thing to replace a meal. You can see that cheese came out pretty good. Sauce I'm happy with. Back of it, like I said, probably could have cooked a little bit longer. But this is one of the only Greek yogurt recipes I've ever made that doesn't taste like 100% Greek yogurt. So very good. It's like my 10th time making it. Came out pretty good. I'm going to go hammer this thing. You have a strong day.